Honesty, passion, experience. It's Timberwolves Explosion, hosted on the Paladinolive network. And now, your host, Paladino Joey. Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Timberwolves Explosion is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps. I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to this show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today, as the Minnesota Timberwolves have drafted and had a little bit of free agency so far, starting a little earlier this year. Because, well, things kind of moved quickly, I guess. Or at least, so I think. We'll see how it goes, but this is your annual NBA draft review and free agency conversation. Well, it ended up being a much more exciting draft night than some of us were expecting, and we'll take it at the end of the day. So we're going to kind of jump into the draft, jump into free agency, and all of that cool stuff. It's, Timberwolves have a bright future going forward, that's for sure. Sometimes the Minnesota Wild, you might think, what the heck are they doing? Yet at the same time, okay, we'll see how that goes. But why am I talking about Brave the Wild at the moment? They had a great draft too, I think. But, well, we'll see how free agency is always a question mark over on the other side of the river, it seems like lately. Timberwolves, I mean, I don't know. Tim Connolly looks like he knows what he's doing. You feel incredibly, optimistic going forward. You kind of figure, okay, we're not picking until 27. You're going to kind of semi-feign interest, though some people are going to be like watching it like me and Marcus used to in the past, just staring at the screen, only to never hear the Wolves do anything, and nothing's going to happen. Okay, fine. I've been there and done that. And I don't know. I mean, if we move up, great, but it probably won't be too high. And if anything, we're going to move down, right? But yeah, that's always the conversation. Maybe there's like a major trade to get DeJounte Murray. Well, that ended up not happening. He's somewhere else. We'll get back to that at some point momentarily. But, try to look at all the NBA movement and such. It's a lot happens in a couple of days. So this year, again, I'm starting a little earlier than other years. Some years, I think I did do it around this time. I remember just 2 years ago, there was a huge Rudy Gobert trade the day before July 4th. Today, it is July 4th. So God bless America and happy July 4th, everybody. At least anybody that's listening to this show pretty early, I guess. Like actually listening to it the day it got recorded. But, I'm recording on July 4th. But, well, it's raining out. Rainy days and Sundays. So, yeah, it's raining on July 4th. Yay. Isn't that great? It's wonderful, right? Okay, Joey, stop complaining. But, well, you're kind of waiting the thing, and it's not a real exciting draft. And then you have two French players going number one overall in the draft. Not one, but two. Last year you had a French player go number one overall in the draft for the first time. That would be Wemby. This year you have two. Zachary Rissecker going to the Atlanta Hawks with the number one pick. We'll see how that turns out. And then, he was from JL Bourg and Bresse. Probably mispronouncing that. Then the Wizards get the number 2 pick, Alex Sarr from Perth. Yes. Gotta like that name. But, yes, French players taken. He didn't play in France at the moment. But the third pick went to Reed Shepherd out of Kentucky. That sounds a little bit more, about more what you'd expect in an NBA draft. San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs, huh? Interesting that name's there. The fourth pick, though, Stefan Castle, the king of the castle out of Connecticut, the national champion again. National champion UConn. Ron Holland II goes to the Detroit Basketball Pistons from the G League Ignite. They're igniting things there. Tejane Solon out of Colette Basket. Rolls right off your tongue, coming out of Fonzé. You don't even have to tell me he's from France. Colette Basket. It rolls right off your tongue. If you don't like it, well, too bad. The Portland Trailblazers, who used to have Nick Batum, Batman with a French accent, drafted Donovan Klingen out of Connecticut. Connect the cut. They're connecting the cut. And then the Spurs, oh goody, they took this point guard out of Kentucky. Screw the Spurs. I'm sick of San Antonio. Boo. You know, I mean, it's good that they're finally bad now. Oh, but they're probably going to get better. You got the king of the castle, and you get Rob Dillingham out of Kentucky. This little short guy was really fast, and he's a pretty good scorer. And there's this trade. There's a trade. So I guess Rob Dillingham's not going to go to the Spurs. So where's he going? What? No, wait. Let me clean my glasses a little bit. What? The Minnesota Timberwolves. Rob Dillingham. The Timberwolves traded for the 8th pick in the draft? Unthinkable. You got to remember, this ain't Kevin McHale running the Timberwolves anymore. No, it's not Kevin McHale, where he was more busy planning his cruise. You know how Garnett made that rip back in 2007. He was actually on a cruise during free agency, but I was like, funny, yeah, well, we were too far over the cap to do anything in free agency. But, well, this is draft night, though. But you think, oh, he's just planning his cruise. Oh, yeah, and we'll take this, I don't even know. What the hell? We'll take this Rick Rickard guy. You know, yeah, Rick Rickard. Oh, that's our buddy from Minnesota right here. We'll take Rick Rickard and see what happens. You know, give him a shot. Gosh, give him a chance. Come on. And this Indy Eby. No, Rob Dillingham. Well, you can already guess some kind of fun bits that may come up with this one. You know, dilly bars at Dairy Queen. Delicious. They're probably not my favorite thing there, but they are delicious. Dilly bars. And then what was that obnoxious commercial that we used to see all the time from Bud Light? This.
Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Madam Sue.
Yeah, dilly. Yeah, dilly. Well, Rob Dillingham, dilly. Welcome to Minnesota, buddy. dilly. Yeah, all right. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, let's talk about Rob Dillingham. Well, should I get to him now, or should I go through the... I'll just inch down really quick. Number 9, Zach Edey from, very big guy. Purdue going to the Grizzlies. Number 10, Cody Williams, Colorado. Jazz. Bulls, Mattis Buzelis, G League Ignite. Thunder, Nikola Topic. KK something. Not 3 Ks, okay, so don't worry about that. I can't do it. Kings draft center Devin Carter. Well, that was easy, out of Providence. That was easy. 14, Bub Carrington, Pittsburgh, traded to the Wizards. As for the terms, I'm not sure, and I'm not worried about that right now. We'll get back to Dillingham, dilly here in a minute. The Heat draft Khalil Ware out of Indiana. 76ers number 16 draft Jared McCain. Sounds like a hockey player. Duke. Dalton Knecht. Dalton Knecht, I guess, Tennessee, Lakers. Okay, I know that guy, that really young-looking guy standing next to this player who was taken 55th overall and was guaranteed $8 million. Oh, it's so much. It's the NBA. Big deal. Yeah, but you don't guarantee 55th overall picks money. It just doesn't happen, does it? Oh, that's right. Yeah, but yeah, his dad's a billionaire. He needs that $8 million like he needs to clip his toenails. You know, I mean, big deal. Magic draft Tristan Del Silva. His dad's a billionaire. That's right. Colorado, that's the Magic. Raptors draft Jacoby Walker, Baylor. Cavaliers draft Jason Tyson, Cal. Pelicans draft number 21, Yves Missy, Baylor. Suns draft Deron Holmes, the second out of Dayton, was traded to the Nuggets. Buckets. The Bucks draft A.J. Johnson out of Illawarra. All right, sounds good. Keyshawn George, Miami, was Keyshawn George from Miami. The Hurricanes, I believe, traded to the Wizards. That was from the Knicks. The Knicks again draft Pacom Dadet. Well, Ratio Farm Home. Okay. Wizards draft Dylan Jones-Weber, straight traded to the Thunder via the Knicks. Timberwolves draft Terrence Shannon Jr. Insert 80s song. Music, that one. That's Shannon. Yeah, something. Out of Illinois. Ryan Dunn, Virginia, traded to the Suns. Jazz draft Isaiah Collier, USC. So I'm going to get to our picks here in 40 seconds. I apologize. And we'll get to the second round after I talk about the 2 picks. I'm not going to delay it anymore. Baylor, Shireman out of Creighton. Okay, let's talk about the 2 guys we took. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out of the way. So, yeah, I'm an idiot. So, Dilly, coming to Minnesota. 19 years of age, extremely young, only 32 games for Kentucky. The final year with John Calipari. You know, John, yeah, I'm proud of you, kid. Going to Arkansas to replace our guy here locally, who was he's not really from here, but yeah, the dad of Bill Musselman, or the son of Bill Musselman, of course, Eric Musselman, yeah, heading to USC. So good luck to him there for sure. Arkansas, that's John Calipari. Kentucky with a new coach now, but Rob Dilly is coming to Minnesota. They say he's 6'2". Is he really, though? I thought he was 6 foot. Well, that's conflicting. This is Basketball Reference, yeah, College Basketball Reference, you know, the whole reference, sports reference, you know, where you can have all that cool, immaculate grid stuff. Well, 1 year, of course, in college, 15.2 points, 4 assists, so he does get assists. He is capable of being a playmaker, definitely a scoring mentality. 3 rebounds, that's not too bad for a small guy like that. Free throw percentage just under 80, like a fraction, 0.4% under 80. His overall field goal percentage, see, this impresses me. This is a probably smaller than 6'2", I would say closer to 6 foot guard. Regular field goal percentage, 47.5. It's pretty damn good. That's like that's pretty good. That's like a guard driving to the hoop and dunking on people. And Rob Dillingham is extremely athletic. He can dunk, and he's had some great moves and all that such. He's from Hickory, North Carolina. Gotta love the way that sounds, Hickory. 3-point percentage, 44.4. Yep, that's awesome. But again, college, so be careful with that. Yeah, very, very optimistic about this one. Great ball handler. In some ways, I was watching him, and I was like, Kyrie Irving light. Obviously, like, Kyrie Irving is at another level. He's insane. His ball handling skills, moving around the basket. But I see a little bit of that in Rob Dillingham. There's other players that he's been, obviously, there are other players he's been compared to. I had it up, and of course I lost it. He was originally, I don't know why I'm not seeing. Yeah, he was originally supposed to go, this is NBA Draft.net. Their mock drafts are kind of weird. Like, they had him going 24th to the Wizards. I don't think he should have gotten that low. Jeez. His overall rating was 92. This is, again, Draft.net. It's a nice little cheat sheet. Kemba Walker and Brandon Jennings is who he was compared to. Two very offensive-minded players. Kemba was a great ball handler, of course. Brandon Jennings, not so much. I'm not sure Brandon Jennings was awesome early and kind of faded out or burned out. I don't know what the hell happened with him, honestly. Was great. Great player with the Knicks for a while was Brandon Jennings. Kemba Walker, yeah, also, what the heck? He was so good. And then, I don't know what happened. It's really weird. Really liked Kemba. Very quick and all that. Shifty bucket getter that scores in bunches, body control, driving through the paint. So, yes, he's really good at controlling his body, driving to the paint. He's good in traffic. Him being Rob Dillingham. So, this is really exciting. And what were we talking about, or what was I at least talking about? I'm sure a lot of you as well were nodding in agreement, at least most of you, that Mike Conley is, he's you have to get a successor. You have to get somebody in there, and somebody that could eat up his minutes a bit as well. Like immediately, somebody that could eat up his minutes, but also a long-term successor. Looks like the Wolves have definitely made that move. I remember just thinking, like, what the heck? It was so shocking to see the Wolves trade up to 8th. But again, Tim Connolly's in charge of the Timberwolves now. Not Kevin McHale, not David. Well, David Kahn was always trading down to build up money that he blew earlier. So trying to kind of sort of save his job, but eventually it didn't matter. Like, he made so many bad moves, there was no saving David Kahn's job. Sorry for mentioning that name on this podcast when doing a draft review, but yeah, extremely exciting, an extremely exciting move. So what were the terms of the move? So yeah, a 2030 protected first round, or no, it's not protected. It's a first round swap. 2030 first round swap. So, like, say that this is one of the two picks. First round swap, so say if the Wolves and the Spurs, you probably know what this is, but imagine the Wolves have the 11th pick and the Spurs are the 24th. I hope this isn't the case. You hope it might be the opposite, but we'll see. That's what the Spurs are banking on with this one. The Spurs could swap. Okay, if the Spurs get the 11th, and we have to drop down to 24. So that's what a swap is. Hopefully that doesn't hurt us at all. And so it's an optional swap, of course. If the Spurs already have the higher pick, then okay, whatever. I guess that's a waste. Damn it. Whereas in 2031, it's a completely unprotected pick. So if by some craziness the Timberwolves have a top 3 pick or something that year, Spurs have it no matter what the case is. It's not protected at all. So that's something to think about. And it's like, oh, it's a 12-year-old. They're 12 years old right now. Who cares? You know, we got Anthony Edwards. Dilly has a chance to be a fantastic guard in this league. Maybe might be an all-star with his scoring ability. And he could probably learn some defense and such. That's obviously his weakness so far. The size of Rob Dillingham could be a problem a little bit. But he's a willing defender in terms of he goes for the steals and such. Like he is capable of making up for his not-so-good defense by attacking the ball defensively, trying to knock the ball away and get some steals. So there is that. With 6'2", 165 point guard Rob Dillingham, who's kind of a shooting guard, but he's a point guard. Yeah, he is a point guard. He's got passing skills. They're definitely there. His ball handling is ranked 9. His quickness is ranked 9. Those are his 2 ultra strengths, or his quickness and his ball handling. So yeah, kind of little, kind of Iverson-ish in terms of like he's a smaller guy who can score a lot, great ball handling and quickness. You know, kind of Iverson-ish that way. Obviously, I know a lot of you see Iverson as like this god. Well, he's not. Nobody is. No human being is. Surprisingly, they even gave his defense a 7 because, again, he does force some turnovers. Passing skills at an 8, potential an 8. So it's good, nice. I'm surprised that they had him all the way down to 24 on NBA Draft Net. But, again, it's a nice cheat sheet in terms of, looking at who to compare him to and such, and just kind of overall numbers. Obviously, they underestimated his draft potential. At the time, they had the Wolves taking that Baylor Shirebit. So that's interesting. That's who they had the Wolves taking there at 27. Wolves will wind up with somebody quite different and quite exciting at the end of the day. I'm not even seeing the guy in this mock draft, which is stupid. Yeah, see, it tells you something. This isn't the best mock draft ever done. Really not. Making a lot of weird noise. Yeah, see, they were right at the top. Good for them. They hit the first 4 picks like to a T, but after that it got a little funky and fine and all that stuff. God, I gotta stop smacking my lips. The Utah Basketball Club. Yeah, okay, I'm just making fun of the Utah Hockey Club. That's their name right now. Yep, Kemba Walker officially announced his retirement and will join as a player enhancement coach. So that just came across the feed here, so that's interesting. We'll talk about the free agent the Wolves signed. At least there's one, and other free agents as well. Okay, let's talk about Terrence Shannon Jr. What do you think of that? Pretty cool. Unfortunately, again, did have some weird off-the-court situation where a woman accused him of rape and all of that. It turned out to basically, a lot of things are pointing to it wasn't true. Terrence Shannon stood his ground like, no, I did not do this. I did not do this. And seems like a nice kid, he really does. When you watch the press conference, nice kid, man. And as does Rob Dillingham. They're good kids, they're like good kids that are good, but they're not just they're not Johnny Flynn with a nice smile and well spoken. You can't say. I would say Rob Dillingham's a little bit more comfortable with the media. Like Shannon seems a little on the shy side, but nothing bad at all. Very friendly individual. You can tell he's a friendly person. So that's pretty cool. He's coming out of Chicago. That's his hometown, Lincoln Park High School. Sounds like a band. It really does sound like a band. Yeah, it does. Anyhow, was he a redshirt freshman or he just played 5 years in college? I guess he just played 5 years in college. So he's a little bit older, but who cares? We're in win now mode here in Minnesota. And looks like a pretty exciting pick, honestly. The talent of a guy that could have gone probably significantly higher if not for that weird off-the-court situation. He was, of course, acquitted, so he is not guilty. The judgment was not guilty, and I don't think he forked over $3 billion to pay, to like make them be not guilty, to make him be not guilty, So just a college player and all of that. College players' careers can be derailed pretty quickly with weird situations that can pop up. Things change quickly for certain guys, and that's unfortunate. Luckily, it looks like Terrence Shannon Jr. is ready to rock and roll with the 27th pick in the NBA draft. Obviously, definitely a 3-and-D guy, a guy that can attack the basket. Very athletic. very good in traffic. Both of these guys are actually very good in traffic, which is exciting. Both of them are slashers. This guy's a classic point shooting guard, 6'6", 210. Like, that just screams shooting guard in the NBA, doesn't it? And coming out of Chicago, there was a certain guy that played there many years ago who was also a billionaire, and owned the Charlotte Hornets for a while. That was about that size, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. He played for the Bulls, but he was from North Carolina originally. I forgot his name. I don't know. It starts with an M, I think. Anyhow, 32 games last year. Yeah, you know I'm kidding, right? I hope. I hope you know that. Texas Tech, an infamous school with Culver a couple years ago. Guy who couldn't shoot a lick, unfortunately, which is really disappointing. I feel bad for Jared Culver. Again, like kind of I wouldn't call him a super senior. He just played 5 years in school for some reason. I'm not sure why exactly. 3-point percentage, 36.2. Not elite, but very capable of hitting the three-point shot. Kind of 3-and-D, or just, and a very talented individual who can drive to the basket and dunk and score, but also an outstanding defender, which is a good addition to this team. And he talked about how it's, you could play with a guy like Anthony Edwards. It's freaking exciting. And he wants to bring a lot of that similar mentality with the strong defense that Anthony Edwards provides. Maybe not at the very beginning of his career, but you could just see it getting better and better every year. And Anthony Edwards has blossomed into what they call the 8th best player in the league at this stage. So he's getting pretty close to number 1. 8th is a pretty good number once you're in those single digits. Shannon Jr. Might have one hell of a career, and we're hoping so. 80% free throw shooter. That's kind of Michael-like, right? He was about 82, wasn't he? 4 rebounds. Yeah, Michael there. I said the guy's name now. My memory was jogged. 80% free throw shooter, 47.5 overall. We're going to scroll down a bit. Obviously, Texas Tech, and then ultimately to the Illinois Reading Illini. So he went home. And that's one of the main reasons why he ended up playing 2 years with the transfer portal, the infamous transfer portal, the Big 12 to the Big 10. But these days, it might as well be the Big 19 or something. There's about 19 schools in the Big 10 all over the country. What the heck happened? It was in the Big 10 supposed to be the Midwest. It's like, what the hell? Especially like in football. It's like, what, USC? Oh, that just screams Big 10. Big USC? Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. Rutgers? Sure. You might as well start singing the from California to New York or whatever. From California to the New York Islands. Yeah, it's the Big 10 is the entire country. I don't know. I can't sing. Well, I can't make up songs anyway. But yes, 3-and-D, ability to drive to the basket. I think I've made that point about 50 times already. But comparables, I don't know. Kind of all over the place. What was the guy's name? Like a Wes Matthews type, sort of? No, not Wes. I'm getting his name. Is it Wes Matthews? I'm getting guys' names mixed up, and I'm afraid here. Yes, it was Wes Matthews. Yeah, Wes Matthews. Good shooting guard, obviously. Very strong defender who can score pretty well as well, like 20 points a game. Hell of a career. He's now 37 years of age, is Wes Matthews. I think he's just about retiring, isn't he? Something along those lines. He played forever, didn't he? He's been all over the league, almost 1,000 games. If he came back to play this year, he will reach 1,000 games. He did play last year for the Hawks in a very, very reserve role, but hell of a player earlier in his career with the Dallas Mavericks, of course, Portland Trailblazers before that, and then became a journeyman, unfortunately. After 3 years with Dallas, there's the Knicks, the Pacers, the Bucks, the Lakers, the Bucks again, and the Hawks. Definitely one of those guys you could put on Immaculate Grid. I even started with the Utah Jazz, so if you want to use Immaculate Grid, he could be one of those guys that could move around. Started relatively slow and became a 15-ish, kind of 15, 16, 13, 12 points a game kind of guy. Strong defender. And, pretty good three-point shooter. 36 to 38% throughout his career in Wes Matthews' case. That's kind of who I'm seeing here. Though, Terrence Matthews, that was a wide receiver in the NFL. Terrence Shannon Jr., definitely a guy that could drive to the basket, though, probably even more than Wes Matthews. Matthews is very capable of it, and it's a comparable player because of the defense and scoring combination. But at the end of the day, Terrence Shannon Jr., yeah, I mean, definitely really good around the basket and excellent in traffic and an outstanding defender. So wonderful, wonderful additions. Cool personality as well. A tiny bit shy, but not really. I mean, obviously you're brand new to the league, and who knows what's going through his head, you know, with all the nonsense that took place. I'm sure he's trying to blot it out and move on, and most people would at the end of the day. So with all of this said, this is, of course, a 2-segment episode. We're going to have this main one and then fan interaction, this and that. That's usually what we do in shows like this. So there's no need for a second segment. That'd be kind of, unless you wanted to split up draft and free agency, and what's the point? What is the point, honest to God? Timberwolves ultimately trade out of the second round, just kind of cash and all that. I think we got another second round pick along the way in some trades we made. But like future picks, it's kind of like, we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. It's not the end of the world. So second round, we'll just kind of zip through it, I guess. Raptors draft Jonathan Mogobo from San Francisco. The Jazz draft Kyle Filipowski out of Duke. Bucks draft Tyler Smith, G League Ignite. Blazers take Tyler Kolek Marquette to trade to the Knicks. Now here comes the trade. So second round picks get traded about 50 times. And in some cases, they showed all the different hands that these picks had. I remember, it's like you looked at it, it's like 4 or 5 different teams have owned these picks in the past, which is like ridiculous. It's funny. Spurs, Johnny Furphy. Not Murphy, Furphy. I'm not talking like a baby right now. Johnny Furphy. No, Joey, it's Murphy. No, it's Furphy. It is Furphy. Traded to the Pacers out of Kansas. Excuse me. Juan Nunez. Ratio Farm Alm. Traded to the Spurs. 37th pick. Timberwolves draft Bobby Clintman out of Carnes. Traded to the Pistons. I think we traded with the Pistons more than once here, didn't we? Yeah, we also traded, what's-his-face? This was Wendell Moore. Also traded to the Pistons so we could drop all the way down to like 53rd. And we took Cam Spencer and then traded him away to the Grizzlies. So, wahoo. Wendell Moore was the first of the guys on the bench this past couple years to be moved out. So Wendell Moore. Obviously, the drafting of Rob Dillingham pretty much spelled the end of that. And again, we'll talk about the other players on their way out as well, because not everybody's staying with the Timberwolves. It's not 100%. All the main guys that you hear all the time, like Karl Anthony Towns, at least for now, who has been linked to this and that, we'll see. I doubt it at this point, but we'll see what happens with him. Obviously, Jaden McDaniels, I don't think we're in any rush to trade him. Anthony Edwards, that would be quite the surprise. But I suppose if Wayne Gretzky can be traded, anybody can be traded. But that would be stupid. They already had won 4 cups anyway in Edmonton. At least they had that to bank on. At least they had that to fall back on. Like, we won the cup 4 frickin' times. So it's like, we could be idiots and trade the greatest player ever away before he's, like when he's in his prime to the frickin' Kings. That was genius trade, by the way. Genius. Anyhow, A.J. Mitchell, UC Santa Barbara from the Knicks traded to the Thunder. Grizzlies, Jalen Wells, Washington State. Portland Trail Blazers, 40th overall pick. Ogodaro traded to the Suns via the Knicks. See how that was multiple hands right there in the same night. Sixers, Adam Bona, UCLA. Hornets, KJ Simpson. I remember he was one of the guys that we were talking about out of Colorado, slipping all the way to 42nd, but he was a possible, 27th overall pick to the Wolves at one point. We'll see how it happens with KJ within the Hornets, the franchise that has just been not that good, especially since moving back to Charlotte. They haven't done diddly. Nikola Jurstick, KK Mega Basket. Well, traded to the Hawks via the Heat. Pele Larson, Arizona, traded to the Heat via the Rockets. See how it just keeps changing hands? Kings draft Jamal Sheed, Houston, traded to the Raptors. Cam Christie finally got drafted by the Los Angeles Clippers. So the Clippers, once again, like Isaac Okoro years ago, late in the first round. I remember I was pissed off. Jaden McDaniels, come on. Why not Isaac Okoro? Jaden McDaniels, Isaac Okoro. Can't imagine who I'd rather have at this date. But Cam Christie, some people thought he might go as high as 27 to the Minnesota Timberwolves out of the Minnesota Gophers. But Cam Christie will be going to the Los Angeles Clippers, who have lost a guy by the initials of PG. We'll get back to him in a little bit. Antonio Reeves, no relation to Keanu. Magic, traded to the Pelicans. Congratulations, I guess. Harrison Ingram, North Carolina Spurs. Tristan Newton, Connecticut. Enrique Freeman, Akron. I don't know why I'm reading all these names anyway, but what the hell. Since I'm already at the end, I guess. Melvin Ajanka, wherever it is, traded to the Mavericks. No, St. Quentin basketball. That's not that hard. Quentin again, post Boston College for the Warriors. Traded to the Thunder, then to the Blazers, then to the what? Okay, I what the hell? The Warriors drafted him, traded him to the Thunder, then to the Blazers, then to the Warriors. What? That's second round picks for you. I'm telling you. I don't get it. That's weird. Pistons, Cam Spencer. Obviously, that was our pick. Timberwolves, then traded to the Grizz. Leeds, Celtics, the world champions. Congratulations, Anton Watson, Gonzaga. This Bronny James guy, who the hell is that? 55th overall pick from USC to the Los Angeles Lakers. As Chick Hearn would say, I'll talk about Bronny in about 5 seconds. Kevin McKellar Jr. out of Texas, traded to the Knicks. Grizzlies draft Ulrich Kamuke, reportedly traded to the Raptors via the Timberwolves. Oh, that's the 57th pick. Yeah, we kept trading down. It was weird. Mavericks, Ariel Hukaporti, MHP Ryzen, traded to the Knicks. Perfect, Mr. Irrelevant name right there. Because he's very relevant, dang it. So as for Bronny James, well, he's guaranteed money. With a billionaire dad, he's been guaranteed money as a second-round pick. He averaged, what, like 5 points a game in college? Or was it 4.5? He kind of looks like LeBron a little bit, like a very young LeBron. Good luck to him. God bless him. He's a 6'2 guard, much smaller than his dad. 6'2", 210, 6'2 guard. Well, we'll see what happens. Some people are saying he's going to be great. Some people are saying he's not. I don't know if it's sarcasm. I don't care, frankly. God bless him. We'll wish him the best. It just, what do they call this? Nepotism? Yeah, it's nepotism. I'm sorry. If this isn't nepotism, I don't know what is. Even Michael Jordan didn't do this. But, I don't know. Yeah, maybe his sons weren't even close. But if Bronny James averaged 5 points a game in college, maybe he's not even close either. Good luck to him. We'll see what happens. I'm glad we didn't do this. That'd be kind of weird. It's cute and everything, but I don't know. He averaged, 4.8 points a game. Field goal percentage, 36.6. 3-point percentage, 26.7. I don't know. The guaranteed contract, 3 years for a second-round pick that didn't even shoot 40% college. Not even 40%. His hometown is L.A.? But how? How's that possible? 20 years? But he's how old again? LeBron wasn't in L.A. all this time. Maybe he kind of was, and then ended up ultimately going there. That's weird. Of course, he wore number 6. Yeah, well, good for him. Well, he's going to be number 9 with the Los Angeles Lakers. Good for Bronny, and good luck, I guess. There's my Bronny conversation. There's your Bronny conversation. Let's get to the NBA free agency, if we can possibly do that. I thought I had it. Some of this stuff is just kind of nonsense. Some of it's important, obviously. What the hell? Okay, so starting with June 30th, because it's like that early stuff, that early bird stuff, because it's mostly players that are on your team, I guess. Obi Toppin sticking with the Pacers, 4 years, $60 million. A lot of people saw him as a possible number 1 overall pick just a few years ago. Pretty wild. I believe that was the Anthony Edwards draft. The Lakers have agreed to deal for guard Max Christie to return to the franchise. No actual amount of money. Celtics officially kept Luke Cornett. Good for him. Undisclosed terms. Okay. Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. agreed to the deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Suns signed Mason Plumlee. Okay, but there's again no terms. Najee Marshall, 3 year, $27 million. Sixers, Gordon comes to terms. That'd be Eric Gordon, 1 year, 3.3. That sounds very familiar to a certain guy. We'll talk about him in a couple seconds. Valanciunas to sign with the Wizards. Kevin Love, yep, that's a notable, of course. 2 years, $8 million. Wow. Remember how much money we were talking about giving him in the max contract? It's like ancient history. Caldwell Pope is leaving the Los Angeles Lakers to go to the Magic for 3 years. Chris Paul's going to sign with the Spurs after being waived by the Warriors. Interesting. I believe it was $10 million to go to play for the Warriors. A Mike Conley kind of deal. Harden and the Clippers, they agreed to a 2-year, $70 million. Definitely not as much as before, but still a lot, obviously. Drew Eubanks with the Jazz, So, yeah, Luka Garza, backup big man, 2 years, a couple million there, so good for him. I think it's 2 years and like 5, if I remember correctly. So not too much, obviously, but definitely an energy guy. Very New Yorker. Like you think, like you just right away just think, oh, he's Latino. Yeah, he is, but he's a New Yorker, which sounds pretty cool. He sounds kind of like Gugliotta, and I'm not kidding. He sounds kind of like Tom Gugliotta, which is pretty cool. Like he could be his son or something. Tommy gun right between the eyes. Isaiah Joe, how exciting. The other Wiggins, not the one that owned the Oklahoma City Thunder, but the one that played there, Aaron Wiggins. 5 years, $47 million for him. Milton and the Warriors agree. Goody for him. 12.8. Jalen Smith and the Bulls. Yeah, some of these I'm just going to keep moving, otherwise I'll just babble forever. And the Clippers bring back Nicholas Batum. God. Ugh, go away. Jeez. I'm sick of Nicholas Batum. I remember being pissed off at him when we said it wasn't his fault, but it was just annoying. Like it was just a huge tease. Like he just kind of used us for leverage, and the Blazers, yeah, it's his fault. Used the leverage, and we used him. We signed him to an offer sheet, and then the Blazers got him. But he ended up being mediocre at best. So it's like it would have been just David Kahn giving too much to a mediocre player, which is one of 100 reasons why the guy got canned. Chris Dunn is leaving the Jazz to go to the Clippers. Well, we'll see what happens. At least he's kind of still hanging around. Gary Harris is ancient history. He's remaining in Orlando. I really liked Gary Harris, but he couldn't stay healthy. 2 years, 15. Oh, boy. Yep, Tobias Harris, pardon me. He's going to Detroit. He's going back to Detroit. He's reuniting with, they're reuniting after many years now. 2 years, 52. I remember, wasn't he making a fortune in Philadelphia? But, all 9-time All-Star Paul George will sign with Philadelphia. His fourth NBA team is wasn't it like $212 million? Gee, if he stays healthy, gosh, it's like $50 million plus a year. $50 million bucks. He's a good player, but isn't he like a complimentary star? I suppose, though, when you already have Maxey, he signed $200 million, and Joel Embiid, Joel, the first Joel Embiid, with the, obviously he's the franchise player there in Philly. So yes, Paul George is a complimentary player, but man, that's a lot of money to tie up in just 3 guys. But Philadelphia has a chance to do something. We'll see if they'll get that done. You have 204 for that son of a gun, Tyrese Maxey. He's a hell of a player, though. He is the son of former Timberwolf, who couldn't really play at all, unfortunately, and God bless him. I don't mean to be a jerk. Marlon Maxey, remember? Wasn't he a first-round pick, or was he an early second? I can't remember, but he couldn't even hang on to the ball. He was like, my brother used to make fun of him, like, he's out of control. This is 30-plus years ago in the early 90s. Very athletic, but he couldn't hang on to the ball. Bad ball handler, basically, which that kind of stuff wouldn't even happen nowadays, because people are, like, obsessed with ball handling. Clang Thompson is leaving the Golden State Warriors to sign with the Dallas frickin' Mavericks. What was it, 2 years, 50, I believe? So, yeah, still making some good coin, but not as much as before, basically, for Clang Thompson. We'll see if he can be making his shots again. We'll see how that goes. Wiseman has been all over the place. Didn't he leave Detroit? Now, yeah, he was with the Warriors. Definitely glad the Wolves took Anthony Edwards and not James Wiseman, who is looking a lot more like a journeyman in this league. Not great. Not a flat-out bust, but a bust of enough of a bust for a number 2 overall pick. Mo Wagner, 2 years, 22 for the Magic. Good for him, I guess. And here's the big one. Kyle Anderson, a key reserve for the Minnesota. Over the past 2 seasons has agreed to a 3-year, $27 million contract in a sign-and-trade with Golden State. Timberwolves will receive 2 second-round picks in the upcoming years. So we'll get back to that later. PJ Dozier, a 1-year contract with the Timberwolves as well, around the same time. reported by Adrian Wojnarowski. That's the guy right there. Kyle Anderson. You know, I don't know why. It just reeks of Scottish or Irish. One of the two. When you hear Kyle Anderson, doesn't it sound Scottish and Irish? One of those two. Kyle Anderson is leaving Minnesota. So that's how it goes there. Thomas Bryant, reserve center, signing with the Heat. Good for him. Wahoo. Damian Lee, 1-year deal with the Suns. Taurean Prince, former Timberwolf, will be leaving the Los Angeles Lakers for the Milwaukee Schmucks to play for a schmuck of a coach. We'll just leave that exactly where it is. If you don't know who their coach is, look it up and you'll see why I'm calling him a schmuck. Because I'm not a fan. The Heat are bringing Alec Burks, 1-year deal. Wahoo. Joe Ingles is coming to... he's coming to Minnesota. Yeah. Yep, Joe Ingles is coming to Minnesota. Awesome. Hell of a passer. You know, you won't be hearing Bill, you know, you wouldn't have heard Bill Walton complaining about his passing skills. Wonderful. You know, like, oh, horrible pass by, you know, whatever. AC Earl, horrible pass. What is he doing out there? I used to love Bill Walton because he was like, well, he would always say stuff like that. Horrible pass. He won't be saying that about Joe Ingles. Wonderful skill. Huge fan. Unfortunately, he's an older guy. He's going to be freaking 37 already. Doggone it. But Joe Ingles, yeah, I mean, cool guy. You know, you got to love him. What am I doing wrong here? Where is he? Yeah, I'm doing something wrong. I'm trying to get him here, and I can't. My apologies. Yeah, Joe Ingles is coming to Minnesota's. Okay, he's not a college player. That's why. Duh. That's why. It's like, of course he's not in there. Obviously started his career a little bit later in the United States. Obviously coming in out of OC. Did not go to college in the United States, of course. Played all over the league. We're going to talk about P.J. Dozier as well, but this is our main free agent acquisition. I got to think so at this stage. Slow-mo Joe. Oh, no. They said we're going to play faster. Yeah, well, there's our new slow-mo. That's funny. So we go from slow-mo to slow-mo Joe. Jinglin' Joe and Jingles. Well, because Jingles, Joe Ingles. Yeah, I know that's what Vince Germano said. He'll see his comment as well, of course, coming in out of Melbourne, Australia, mate. That'd be Mr. Vinrock Vince Germano. Oh, boy. This thing's going crazy. Oh, boy. Am I missing out on something here? Holy Toledo. I hate when people start texting me like crazy, but it totally figures. Go do this, go get that. Yeah, since you're not working. Leave me alone. That doesn't mean I want to, okay? Doesn't mean I want to do something else. Enough of my bitching. Yep. I was like, we got Joe Ingles. Vinrock Vince Germano says, nice pickup. Old Jingles ain't what he used to be, but he's solid. We love him. And, yeah, we were talking about, older player now, but still can play. And Vince also added that he loves stirring shit up, too, which, yeah, he does. I like that about Joe Ingles. He'd love to see, Vince would love to see Joe Ingles get a ring. And I'm like, wouldn't that rock? That would. It's become a bit of a journeyman as he's gotten older, but what do you expect? Guys get older. Started playing in the NBA at 27. Most of his career, of course, with the Jazz. Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert, of course. Huge surprise there. Stayed healthy for the longest time. 79, 81, 82, 82, 82. And then down to 72, 67 as he got into his, 33-ish range. Started to drop a little bit and did play 68 games for Orlando last year. It's a team you don't really think of a whole lot if you're in this neck of the woods, unfortunately. Has had a hell of a three-point shooting ability his whole career. 41% in his career, 704 games, 43.5 last year, in 68 games, averaging 17 minutes. Hopefully he can bring us about that. That'd be wonderful. That spark plug off the bench. Still averaged 3 assists in only 17 minutes. It's pretty good, man. Overall field goal percentage, 43.6. 0.6. It's kind of coming out like an Aussie accent accidentally there. Field goal percentage and two-point percentage right about identical last year, 43. Where in the past he was in the 50s and 60s from two-point percentage, which is outstanding. Whereas three-point percentage has been hovering around 40 pretty much his whole career. So Joe Ingles definitely a playmaker. Averaged almost 6 assists in the middle part of his career in his prime, down to 3, 3.5, stuff like that, right around this point of his career. So Joe Ingles, pretty exciting. 3.3 million is the 1-year ditty for Mr. Joe Ingles. Ingles, 6'9", 220, pardon me. Where's he, where's his hometown, dog? Okay, Adelaide. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hope. I'm probably not. And if I'm not, Vince, correct me. Australia. Adelaide, Australia. Yep, and he went, I'm not even going to... Canberra, Australia. That's where he went to school. Lake Ginninderra. And I'm probably messing... Lake Ginninderra in Canberra, Australia. Rails right off your tongue, mate. Joe Ingles, every time I hear Joe Ingles, I get the accent. It just sounds like an Aussie right away. Joe Ingles is perfect. And I'm not making fun of Aussies. I love you guys. And you know it, right? You know, you think I'm making fun of you? I cherish you guys. Australia, New Zealand, I absolutely cherish you guys. More than you think. You're the pillars of the show. So if anybody out there, maybe you haven't interacted with me before, I am not making fun of Australians when I do the accent. I'm just, I don't know, I wish I was one of you, honestly. I'd love to. Love to. PJ Dozier, that's the other one. Undrafted in his career. He's been around. We'll see what happens. Is he going to kind of end up, I don't know what he's going to do, honestly. I'm not sure what's going to happen. 27 years of age. He's going to, well, I'm guessing he's going to be a factor with this team a little bit. He's not going to expect, not really high expectations, obviously, in this one. He's had moments, sure. He averaged almost 22 minutes a game at age 24 for Denver in 2021. Was not in the NBA last year. He was in Serbia. So, yeah, that's what I thought. It's not like he was hurt or anything. He just wasn't in the United States. So we'll see what happens if he winds up, back in Europe or something. They do pay more over there. It's just that you have to live over there, so it is your choice. Do you want to play in Serbia or do you want to be in the United States making less for the convenience and all that cute stuff? Nothing majorly stands out, though. He's kind of, 30% from three-point range, minimal minutes, this and that. So a shooting guard that can shoot a little bit, but again, nothing majorly stands out. I'm guessing he'll be like limited minutes if he does make the Timberwolves. It's going to be kind of, I think, more of a tryout basis with this one. But obviously he's had his moments up and down. His uncle Terry Dozier, okay, sounds very familiar. Where'd he come from again? Wasn't it from? Doesn't show. Oh, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he was in the G League. I'm blanking on this one. So yep, I'd heard the name like a million times, but then it's like, yeah, there's not really much there. Honestly, he's only played like about 100 games in the NBA, minimal minutes. So not a whole lot to really get into on PJ Dozier. What was his best overall year? That would have been that 2021 where he played 50 games, averaged 7.7. That's actually pretty good. So he's capable of scoring the basket. There is that. 49% that year also from 2-point range. His overall field goal percentage of just 41.7. So clanging those threes certainly didn't help. Almost averaged 4 rebounds a game though in 22 minutes. That's not bad. He was definitely a rotation player for the Nuggets in 2021. Very limited the next year, unfortunately. I don't know if injuries and such. Because if you're averaging almost 19 minutes and only played 18 games, must have been injuries there. And his career's been derailed a bit, unfortunately. It looked like he might have been emerging into something as an undrafted player. But unfortunately, PJ Dozier, not so much to say since then. Let's keep moving, because I know there's a couple others. LeBron James, 2 years, 105. Boy, he really needs that money. Oh, LeBron needs that money. Let me tell you, his son does too. Boy, they need that money. Okay. Why am I not seeing... They're not showing the... This is weird. Well, I guess it happened during July 3rd. They're not showing some of the players that left. But Monte Morris, league minimum. Monte Morris, former Timberwolves point guard, league minimum with the Phoenix Suns. So that's interesting to see how that took place. They're not reporting it here, which is annoying. I don't understand that. Maybe it is, but I'm not seeing it. Very strange. Yeah, it's Lee, not Monte Morris, though. It's just a 1-year league minimum. That's pretty much a Dozier, but I don't think it's guaranteed, though. I don't think Dozier's guaranteed. I'm guessing not. More of a like he has a chance. He's probably ahead of other players because he's been in the league, but far from anything too exciting at the end of the day. So that's where we're going. Monte Morris, again, league minimum with the Phoenix Suns. So a little bit surprising, to say the least, how that took place. I guess it's not reported yet. Maybe they've come to an agreement. And it's such a small thing that it's not like, wahoo, Kind of surprising that he'd only get a league minimum. But, well, he's a chance to revive his career and get going again. Because he was pretty good with Denver not that long ago. So that's where things are standing right now. There have been other trades and such that have taken place. Something else to maybe get into a bit, very briefly. A couple of trades quick. We'll get to those right now. Because, it's an off-season show, and it's okay to this isn't going to have to just be the Wolves only. I'm going to skip that Mavericks and Knicks trade. I don't know those guys real well. I'll just be honest with you. Dallas Mavericks on June 28th. Quentin Grimes from the Detroit Pistons for Tim Hardaway Jr. So, obviously, hopefully more minutes for Tim Hardaway Jr. It was weird how little he played later in the year. He'd been a factor his whole career, so what the heck? Why was he buried in the rotation? But I suppose the Mavericks acquisitions definitely helped. DeJounte Murray was on the move from Atlanta. Wound up going to the New Orleans Pelicans. I remember thinking, like, oh, man. But then again, well, it is what it is. The Timberwolves drafted Dilly, so it is what it is. No more DeJounte Murray. Larry Nance Jr. from the Pelicans going to the Hawks. Dyson Daniels, Double D. 2025 first-round pick via the Lakers. That's cute. 2027 first-round pick, least favorable by Milwaukee, New Orleans. Or for Milwaukee, New Orleans, so that must be a pick swap. That was agreed 2 years ago, or months ago, or whenever. Josh Green, what's going on here? Okay, it's a three-way deal. Yeah, the Clang Thompson deal. Clang Thompson signed as a free agent from Golden State as a sign-and-trade type of thing. Going to the Dallas Mavericks. You notice I'm saying Clang because he missed a lot of shots. 2025 second-round pick via Dallas, least favorable of Philadelphia and Denver. So that's a swap. Interesting. Least favorable. Okay, yeah. So it's on the negative side. Okay. Second-round pick, 2031 second-round pick via Dallas. You know how we go way ahead in the picks. I was always joking, like somebody's grandson could be, like a current player's grandson could be the pick with some of these second-rounders. Josh Green's going to the Hornets from Dallas. So, all right. So that was kind of a facilitation going on there. Okay, it was a second-round pick swap. That's what it was. That's why you saw two picks. And they don't actually say the year. That's annoying. Anderson in sign-and-trade deal with the Wolves. Kyle Anderson to the Warriors. It was $9 million per $27 million, 3 years, to the Golden Suck Warriors. The Broken Bridge themselves. Kyle Broken Bridge Anderson is going to the Warriors for a future second-round pick swap and cash considerations, which sounds about where they were. And then you bring in Joe Ingles to basically replace Slow-Mo. You replace Slow-Mo with Slow-Mo Joe. So there you go. See what I did there? I didn't even mean to, but it came out perfectly. That was fun. So that's kind of it for now, I guess. I guess so. Obviously, it's annoying that they didn't have the Monte Morris thing here, Monte Morris, but it is just a one-year minimum. I don't know. It's like it's not important enough, or maybe it wasn't officially agreed to yet. It's like he can do better, damn it. He can come back to Minnesota and play 5 minutes, I guess, all year, and have a nice smile and be well spoken. I don't know. I'm just kidding. With that said, though, very exciting draft. Fun free agent acquisition with Joe Ingles. I think that's fun. And obviously, he's a high IQ player. High IQ, good in the locker room. He'll fight for you. That kind of thing. That tough Aussie, awesome Aussie type of deal there. Again, great to have him. Great to have that athletic scoring point guard, athletic scoring shooting guard who's a fantastic defender. And definitely a value deal, definitely a value pick in terms of Terrence Shannon Jr. coming in out of the Fighting Illini of Illinois, not Texas Tech. He played there for 3 years, but ultimately with the Illini. I don't know why I kept mixing that up. It was kind of dumb and annoying, but, well, yeah, he was with Illinois in the end, but did have some good years at Texas Tech as well. Unfortunately, an odd situation in the offseason. A year ago definitely slowed things down, but ultimately everything everything came to the surface, and Terrence Shannon Jr. acquitted, which is a good thing. So at least we hope so. No, it is. With that said, we'll take a quick break and return for some fan interaction right after this. Are you looking for a really nice Timberwolves-related Facebook page out there with cool fans and a wonderful host? Well, look no further than Wolfpack from Flip to Finch, hosted by Scott Doherty. He does a great job. Scott Doherty's an awesome guy, and the fan base on there, obviously passionate about the Wolves, but also respectful of other people's opinions regarding the team. Check out the page. It's awesome. Wolfpack from Flip to Finch. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, segment number 2, fan interaction. Looks like it's going to be shorter than I thought, unfortunately. I could have saved well, maybe I'll get something from something else here. But yeah, I probably should have saved the Vince Germano comment for this one, but I can always rehash it as well. That, yeah, I mean, it's just nice pickup by the Wolves. Obviously not as good as he used to be, but still love him. Yeah, they still love him there in Aussie very much, and obviously the playmaking ability, along with the fact that he likes to stir things up, and he'd love to see Joe Ingles get a ring, for sure. And yep, Tanae Brown, also out of New Zealand, says the Kyle Anderson replacement. Yep, Joe Ingles. Did I not talk about the draft at all on there? I apologize. I probably should have asked for a comment, so it's kind of like my own fault there. Maybe you guys can comment, and I can put that on a future show. I'm surprised nobody talked about the draft at all on there. I was saying draft nights have been awfully fun with Tim Conley at the helm. So, yeah, people did acknowledge it. That was liked by Tanae. But maybe a lot of people are a little bit cautiously optimistic at the moment because you don't know. Draft picks can be exciting and then, like, nothing happens. It's annoying. Like, what was it last year? You know, Leonard Miller, that was awesome. Like, we got Leonard Miller. He's got a lot of talent, and maybe he'll end up replacing Kyle Anderson in the future. He still might. He still ultimately might, when you think about it, because Joe Ingles is not a long-term solution. At age 37, which is what he will be when the season starts. So Joe Ingles is not getting any younger. Leonard Miller, obviously, still a nice future. Chris Finch also, again, agreed to a 4-year contract extension through 27-28. Terms of the deal were not disclosed, unfortunately. You don't really hear about coach money a whole lot unless it's a huge, massive thing, which it could have possibly been. It wasn't even as much as people thought, but the Connecticut coach possibly going to the Lakers, but obviously that's over. J.J. Redick is on the Lakers. Was there conflict of interest a bit with LeBron James? I wouldn't be surprised at all. And that's probably why the Connecticut coach did not leave Connecticut, where he could keep winning national championships and all that. Again, like the guy with Michigan, Jim Boeheim, mistake. You know, big mistake there. That was unfortunate. Feel bad for him leaving for Cleveland and left about a third into the season or halfway through the year with a Cleveland team that just wasn't ready to do a whole lot. Why you'd leave Michigan to go coach the Cleveland Cavaliers? I don't know. Very, very, very strange. Oh, there was a positive comment a while back when I tried to create a new Timberwolves Explosion logo. Vince Romano was like, nah, you know, and I believe some other people as well were like, nah, I don't know. So Vince and a couple others. So Tanae did respond way back on June 12th. He said, I like the font on this one. Very cool. Yep, so maybe I will keep that font. I don't know. It's not that bad of a logo, is it? And I think, yeah, a lot of people agree that the Timberwolf, I was able to get that outline of Timberwolf moved into the basketball. That looked pretty cool. Maybe the basketball needs to be a different color, or just don't add the explosions. I don't know. But I actually thought it was pretty good. I don't know, but it didn't get met with like, holy cow, this is great. So, but I do still have it. So I could still potentially make the logo, whether you like it or not. Nah. No. So maybe I don't know. Maybe people did like it more than I thought. I don't know. But it looks like there were a couple of responses. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. So Levi was saying, yeah, it did get met with mostly like, nah, it's not the best. Yeah, Levi said he preferred the current one, but I do like the wolf inside the basketball. Derek Felska, great friend of Brave the Wild, and a great friend in general as well. That's my hockey show, Brave the Wild. Derek Felska also does Crease and Assist to talk about Minnesota Wild. Crease and Assist, do look that up. He said, I think I like the old one better. Yeah. I was like, looks like it won't be changing this time, maybe soon though. And Tanae did like the font, basically. So I didn't click like, I apologize there. And I was like, what about this one? Yeah, the Freedom of Thought logo. That's a logo. But that podcast is not for everybody currently listening to this episode, I'm sure. It can be. It can be. It doesn't have to be political. There's a political side to it, but there's also kind of a, freedom of thought, like interesting stuff out there. But again, not every podcast is for everybody. Like Timberwolves Explosion isn't for everybody. I'm more of a aggressive, honest approach to my podcasting when it comes to sports. I'm not a rah-rah, go Timberwolves guy. I mean, yes, if it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals or Game 7 versus Denver, yes, rah-rah, go Timberwolves. But if they no-show the game, I'm going to say that bleeping sucked. What the hell was that? I'm not going to say, oh, well, great season. Better luck next year, guys. I mean, we can do it. No, I'm going to tell you how much I hated that bleeping game and what the bleep happened. Yeah, kind of like the Mavericks series. Oh, wait. I didn't go there, did I? Yeah, I did. I was mad. I was mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm tired of like playoff runs getting derailed in round 3. Why can't we go further? Why can't we get back to the finals? Damn it, in this town. Why can't the Vikings go back to the Super Bowl? Why can't the Wild get to the Stanley Cup Finals like the North Stars did a couple years and freaking win it this time? Why can't the Timberwolves actually get to the finals? Why can't the Twins get back to the World Series? Why not? Obviously, it's not going to happen every year. Obviously, it might not happen every 10 years, but it's got to happen sometimes. And moves like these Rob Dilly, like the Dilly move, Rob Dillingham type of trades can make things quite interesting, where you're not immediately hurting your team. You're not giving up Karl Anthony Towns necessarily or anything like that. Maybe he still gets traded. Who knows? Reported interest by the Wolves in another Utah player. How ironic is that? That'd be, of course, former Minnesota Timberwolves draft pick Lauri Markkanen, who was agreed to be traded to the Bulls in the Jimmy Butthead trade. That was a wonderful night for all of us. Wonderful. Supposedly, the Wolves actually did want Lauri Markkanen if we were just going to hang on to the pick. So it was kind of like a mutual interest in Lauri Markkanen, the Bulls and the Timberwolves. But, of course, Lauri Markkanen ends up traded for Jimmy Butthead. He must have been awfully young. He's only 27 right now. He was like a decent player, a little bit on the, more of a finesse kind of guy, not a tough, rugged guy at all. And then he's developed into a hell of a player. He made the All-Star team last year. What was he, averaging like 24 points a game? So it's pretty cool. Took a while for him to get there, but damn, he's good. Wouldn't hurt us at all. In fact, you'd save a ton of money if you made that move, if you move on with Towns. But Towns, of course, a better defender, which just a couple of years ago would have been extremely laughable about Towns being a good defender. But hey, in the Denver series, he was the right guy to be on the Cyclops. That would, of course, be Nikola Jokic. Of course, it's of course the Cyclops is Jokic. I mean, who else is it going to be? Does he not look like a Cyclops? The only thing missing is the only thing that's there that doesn't have that's inaccurate, we'll say, is that he has two eyes. That's the only thing. If imagine Jokic with one eye, he would look like a perfect Cyclops. But let's move on from that. It would be one eye in the middle, not because he damaged his eye. We're not hoping for that to happen ever. Stay healthy, Nikola Jokic. Hopefully we can beat you in a series again, and you were very respectful, actually, of us after that series. The other guy wasn't so much. He was like, oh, we just lost. You didn't give us any credit at all. That would be the guy that pissed me off. That'd be Jamal Murray. Yeah, imagine that. I'm sure Devin Booker was real complimentary of us, too, after the Suns series. He just loves us. Oh, Devin just loves us, and we love him back, too. Just love Devin Booker. He's a great guy. Never looking to just start a fight with people for pretty much no reason at all. That's not Devin Booker. He's a good person. Great guy. Just great. All right, enough of that. Dang it, I wish there was more fan interaction. But then again, I guess that's what I get. Well, that's what I get, but I don't really ask for it, which is my own fault. So I just kind of said, and it rained today, and it's like I was planning on just getting the lawns done. So... And it's like, okay, I guess this is a good time to record the free agency and draft. There might be a part 2, though. If anything happens, of course, there's going to be a part 2. Or maybe I want to do some addendum and errata, like, add some parts, add like a secondary version of this show in a couple of weeks. I may end up doing that. We'll see. Otherwise, I hope, I hope this is a quality show, that you're not looking at me like, what was that? Again, I wasn't really expecting to do a show today. It just kind of turned out. I was looking forward to it, no doubt, because obviously there's definitely enough material to do a show when you consider the Rob Dillingham and all that. So, and Terrence Shannon. Getting Joe Ingles is exciting for the most part. Obviously, Kyle Anderson's on the move. Wendell Moore Jr. on the move to Detroit. So things happened. Now it's kind of a question of which guy is going to play. But maybe there might be another trade coming. Don't be surprised if a Minot or Leonard Miller is dealt. I wouldn't doubt that the more likely guy to get traded is Josh Minot. That's my guess. He's probably frustrated with the lack of minutes, and I do think this organization loves Leonard Miller. That's my guess. I love Leonard Miller too, and I think there's a ton of potential there. So hopefully at least one of those two guys is going to get significant minutes going forward. That's definitely a conversation going into the offseason. But one of them needs to be playing one way or another. Maybe the other will be able to play at a different franchise. Hopefully it doesn't have to necessarily be Detroit or something, or like a team that's just like a bottom feeder, like the Washington Wizards, that not sure where the hell they're going. Like they paid Monte Williams more than any coach in the league, Detroit, and then fire him in a year because it was that bad. It was just that bad. It was that bad of a match, and it just did not work out. Plain and simple. With that said, thank you again so much for listening, and we should be back. Might be back in a few weeks. Maybe it's going to be longer if absolutely nothing happens and there's no real reason to do a show. One addendum and errata right now. I was saying Klay Thompson agreed to a 2-year $50 million. No, 3-year $50 million. That's what I thought. It's just surprising. It's kind of low, but he shot terribly for the most part. He was down to 43%. I guess his free throw percentage was still pretty respectable at 37%. But yeah, that's not, the Klay Thompson people to remember. His defense isn't what it used to be either. So that's why it's not big bucks. And I'm sure he wasn't really seeking a huge payday. He's made a lot of money in his career and wants a chance to probably, still have some fun and maybe compete for a title. The Warriors hopefully are done, but I don't want Dallas to win either. Screw that. They're kind of I don't like Dallas either. Let's just leave it at that. That said, take care, and we will be back hopefully sooner than later.